Hey guys, I'm here with Tom Byrnes of ThreatSTOP, and he's the founder and CEO of ThreatSTOP. And he began his career in the U.S. Army Signal Corps, where he became an early practitioner of network security. And he was working with the Digital Dirt Initiative. So to begin, Tom, can you tell us a little bit about what the Digital Dirt Initiative is?
So digitizing the dirt, also known as Task Force 21, was about putting networks out in a tactical environment where we could connect the shooters, the intelligence community, and the command in a real-time common operational picture. We did this because in the first Gulf War, we killed more of our own soldiers than the Iraqis did. We swore that would never happen again. And that's because we were moving too fast and the data wasn't flowing up to the decision makers fast enough. Turns out that's a problem everybody has today in the real world. The issue is getting the information from the field to the decision maker and taking action on it quickly. So we had these things called the Tactical Packet Network, which were originally designed to be used for logistics, and pushing that forward into the operational environments with Task Force 21, digitizing the dirt is about. And as a result of that, we had to build big tactical networks, and we realized we had to secure them. And it really didn't exist back in the early 90s, so we had to figure out how to do it ourselves.
Okay, well that's quite impressive. One of the things that I wanted to know, the big thing that are facing businesses nowadays is zero-day vulnerabilities. So could you just give us a quick primer on what zero-day vulnerabilities are?
So 0 day is when someone discovers it's one out for Samsung Android and actually for Google Android today. That's why current Android systems have to get a patch today. It's a previously unknown way of taking over something and making it do something you don't want that can be exploited. In this case, actually is. But the real issue is not so much the 0 day, because those are going to happen.
Mhm.
People write software, it's typically written by overworked and underpaid outsourced entities. Vixie has a whole series he's posted on LinkedIn where he describes why it's amazing and it actually works. What changes is all of that, and that's almost an NP complete problem. But if you can focus on the actors, and who is doing the things that need to be done, you are protected against the 0 days because you're protected against everything they're doing.
Mhm.
And those actors have a limited amount of infrastructure they can use. Although it's a very large search space, even the DNS, which is 253 bytes broken up into 63 byte labels, is a bounded finite problem. More importantly, it's hierarchically organized. That's also true of the IP address space, which has the benefit of being word aligned. So if you can focus on the tools and the infrastructure available to them, you have a better chance of interdicting whatever the actors may do because that is limited. It's the same as, you ever seen the movie Fury?
Yes.
One tank blocking a crossroads stops an entire battalion of SS.
Yeah.
If you focus on the choke points, you focus on what they must use, the logistics, then you can block whatever it is they choose to do.
Okay, so this is the what. Can you give us a brief description of what's the who? Where are these threat actors emerging from in the world today?
Well, it's always been, the boogeyman, right? Who tends to be Russian. The Russians are the experts in this field. They've been doing it for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And they're government hackers, when they're not working for the government, go work for different crime syndicates. The Chinese have also grown in this. The North Koreans have a specialty in financial crimes, specifically crypto mining. And the Iranians obviously are using it to shape the battlefield. They just hacked the Biden and the Trump campaigns. They're engaging in disinformation and other political manipulation for geopolitical ends. And then you've got the traditional criminals who tend to pick on their neighbors.
Yeah.
So the typical Chinese criminal is actually going to hack Chinese people. The typical North American criminal is hacking North Americans. But the real growing threats are the nation state actors with their sophisticated tools. Those tools then leak and get used by criminals because there is no recourse against them. The law enforcement actions don't work. You can't go arrest the FSB. They're doing their job, right? So you have to, again, deny them the attack surface on your side and deny them the resources that they're using to come after.
Okay. And so then, as a takeaway that we can give to various different firms out there considering these challenges for their businesses, what are maybe one or two things that somebody can take away and implement in their business? What technology is super effective at guarding business?
As Paul Mark-Petras, the guy who invented the DNS and who's chief scientist at ThreatSTOP likes to say, everything good or bad on the internet starts with a DNS query. So first and foremost, you should have protective DNS. It's a requirement for CMMC. It's a requirement for most of the NIST controls that you have the ability to enforce security of the DNS. Make sure that you have a firewall, but manage it. Make sure that it has up-to-date information about what you should and shouldn't be checking on. Look at your logs and make sure that you don't have a monoculture. If anybody learned anything from the CrowdStrike outage, it's that being dependent on one simple thing, it's going to be a problem. And always have good disaster recovery. You need backups. You need a disaster recovery plan that doesn't require a truck roll, because that's what happened to Delta. They had to go and physically touch every single machine. And you need people pre-positioned and equipment pre-positioned for the biggest eventuality. If everything does go down, that you can continue to operate your business.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for that insight today, Tom.
Thank you.
And we appreciate this educational opportunity, and good chatting with you.
Great chatting with you. Nice meeting you.
Likewise.
Take care.